50 Trust Fund Pensions offices across Nigeria. Trust Fund Pensions, your partner for life, your pension for the future.
Yes, today's conversation is one that every pension contributor needs to pay attention to. That is fund performance and ROI, that's return on investment, why returns vary and what affects growth. Joining us is Mr. Afolabi Adis, who is the acting head of investment Trust Fund Pensions. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, and thanks for having me, Mr. Moite. A lot of people ask, why isn't my pension return the same every year? Why does it sometimes goes up, sometimes comes down? Today, we'll not only answer that, but also show you how to position yourself to get the best out of your pension, and also why staying the course always pays off.
All right, so let's get into the show. Mr. Desa, why are the returns on sometimes you hear questions like this? Why are the returns on my RSA not always the same? Why do they go up and down? Can you break this down for us?
What a wonderful question, which is the art of the matter why we are here. So, for example, think of your RSA like a cattle tree. In some years, you see the rain comes early, the soil is rich, and the harvest is bountiful. While in other years, the rain may be delayed, may have drought, may have pests, which disturbs, or even the sun may be too hot, and the harvest is not as huge as what you had the previous year. So your pension funds works exactly the same way. We invest your pension funds in quite a lot of diverse asset classes which affect the economy, like the government bonds, shares, real estate, treasury bills, corporate bonds, and money market. So when these sectors do well, your returns, you see your returns being high. Also, when we have challenges which could include, which may affect the interest rates, rising too fast, or even inflation that we all know eats into the value, then you see your returns slow down. So the key point in this is you expect variation, which is natural thing, but the long-term trend is growth. Just as you notice, like I said, the cattle tree, you see it keep growing taller year after year. Even one harvest may be smaller, but your pension keeps building wealth over time.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful analogy. But contributors often say, why can't the returns just keep going up steadily every year?
Well, that's a fair question, which everyone should ask. But here's the truth. Steady growth only exists in savings accounts that we keep in banks. But those usually give lower returns, which can be compared to what your pension will return. And it barely beats inflation. Over time, your money will lose power. That's the one you keep in bank. But pension investing is a different ballgame. It's not about a straight line upward trajectory. It's about steady, long-term wealth creation. Just like in business, sometimes you will experience ups and downs, but the goal is to grow over a longer period of time. A 25, 30 years pension journey is not just about one single year's return. It's about the average performance of that your fund over the entire period. So we at Trust Fund Pensions, we focus on ensuring that in the long run, our contributors' money grow faster, beats inflation, and secures a comfortable retirement over that long period of time. So simply put, a pension is like when you are running a marathon. It's never a sprint race. So if you judge yourself only by at kilometer 3, we know marathon is about 42 kilometers. So if you judge yourself at kilometer 3, kilometer 10, you may feel discouraged or, I can't make it. But at kilometer 40, you will start seeing the true reward while you are partaking in that marathon. So yes, some years you will see your returns higher, some years are lower. But what matters most is that the average return or the growth you've given your pension over the entire pension journey that is where the power of investment lies.
This is interesting. So what are the main factors that affect fund performance and return on investment?
Okay, so there are several key factors that determine how this your money grows and how this your return performs. The first is economic condition.
Okay.
We have said it's inflation. So for layman, inflation means the average price movement in commodities. So take for example, I'll go to a market today, I price tomato. Tomato is saying 25,000 per bag. Next month, I go to that same market, I price tomato. They are saying tomato is going to 50,000 naira per basket. So you see, the price has moved within that 1 month by another 100%. So we say, there is inflation. Inflation has grown by 100%. So inflation is just the general price, measurement of general price level. So those are the things that affect your pension. Interest rate as well. Interest rate and exchange rate. So for example, like I said, when inflation is high, the value of your money drops. But certain investments are there that can guide against those inflation, and this includes bonds. So when interest rates do fall, the stock market, which is the equities, you see them rise because people move from that money market or bond to the stock market which is performing well. Another policy that determines how your money grows is the government policy. So there are policies enacted by governments. We have some fiscal decisions through tax or government spending that actually impacts on your pension. Also, the CBN can decide to tighten monetary policies. Or they can even decide to lose it. When they lose monetary policy, that means they are going on making sure there is more money in the system. People can come, invest at lower rates. Why the tightening is when they tighten the policy to ensure that there is not that much money. Because when you get too much money in the system, there will always be inflation. So these are government policies that could affect how the investment climate changes. Another one is global markets. We must know Nigeria as a country, we don't exist in isolation. So we hear oil prices is going up, is going down. There is also global stock market swings. When the global stock market is not performing well, it affects us even in Nigeria. And when the global market is performing well, it also affects us in Nigeria. And we have events, we remember vividly, COVID-19. That caused a lot of discussion. Also wars, Russia-Ukraine war, for example, Israel-Palestine wars, for example. So these are the things that affect how your investment grows and your funds perform. Another factors that determines how your money grows is the strategy adopted by your PFA. We are trust fund. This is where we come in. We adopt a prudent, well-diversified approach to protect and grow your money. This way, we diversify your investment by balancing safety with growth. This determines how your funds perform. We in our trust fund, we do not put all our eggs in one basket. Then another one is in time horizon, which is very important. A younger contributor of 25 years to retirement can afford to take risk because of the high rewards he wants. But for someone that has only 5 years, 3 years to retirement, they need a safer, more stable return. So that is why the multi-fund structure that we've talked about in the last 2 weeks exists. So by that way, you can align your investment profile with your age and your risk appetite.
Oh, well, it's still your pension, your power, brought to you by Trust Fund Pensions Limited, your dependable, transparent, and forward-thinking pension fund administrator. Our topic for the week is fund performance and return on investment, why returns vary and what affects growth. Our guest is the acting head of investment at Trust Fund Pensions, Mr. Afolabi Adesa. We will take a short break now. The program will return shortly. Please don't go away.
Your future matters. Your pension should too. Looking for a reliable, dependable, and top-notch customer experience when it comes to your retirement savings? Trust Fund Pensions is here for you, securing your tomorrow, today. It's not just pension, it's trust. It's not just fund, it's your future. From the bustling cities to the quiet towns, we've got you covered with exceptional services. Expert fund management and 24/7 self-service digital platforms such as the Trust Fund Interactive Virtual Assistant, TIVA, and the Trust Fund mobile app. Do visit us today on www.trustfundpensions.com or log into any of the 50 Trust Fund Pensions offices across Nigeria. Trust Fund Pensions, your partner for life, your pension for the future.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's Trust Funds, your pension, your power on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Our guest is the acting head of investment at Trust Fund Pensions, Mr. Afolabi Adesa. And we are looking at fund performance and return on investment, why returns vary, and what affects growth. Mr. Adesa, it's been an interesting discussion so far. So let's move on. So if I'm listening now as a contributor, what can I do personally to take advantage of these variations and make my pension work harder for me?
Absolutely. You have power in your hand. So these are what you can do. The first is you understand fund choices through the multi-fund which we had talked about in the last few weeks. That's from the fund 1 to fund 6 retiree. Each fund, you must understand that each fund has a different risk return profile. Younger contributors can always opt for fund 1 or even 2 for higher growth potential, while older contributors may prefer the safer option, which is the fund 3 or 4 for safety. Another one is you must, as a contributor, you must stay informed. You must continue to monitor your RSA statement. You check it on the quarterly statement that we share via your different platforms and mail. You continue to ask questions and follow Trust Funds updates through the various social media channels. Knowledge is power. Also, you must, as a contributor, especially for the younger contributors amongst us, think long term. Don't panic, even when you see your returns dipping, because it's a temporary phase. The harvest is not about one season, like we said, but the entire journey. So remember, pensions are marathon, not sprints. So by being proactive and making informed choices, contributors can align their strategy with their financial goal. Let me tell you about the power of compounding using one of our contributors, Mr. Okoro, as an example. Mr. Okoro started contributing, say, in 2007, when pensions became mandatory. At that time, his balance looked small. He would always check his balance and complain that this my money is not growing as much as it should be. But in certain years, his investment return experienced even some slight dips. And he was worried, but he continued to stay consistent. Fast forward 20 years down the line, that despite these ups and downs that we mentioned, he has seen his balance multiply many times over what was actually contributed over these 20 years. Why? Because of what we call compounding. We've been able to compound that contribution that comes in. Even with what is already in the account, by the time you compound it, you will see the wonders of compounding. So every contribution you have contributed, plus the interest on those contributions, was reinvested. And over time, he saw his growth snowball. When he retired last year, he was amazed at the size of his RSA. What looked small while he was complaining in 2007 has become a strong, reliable source of retirement income. His patience paid off. So the lesson is clear. Short-term variation do not stop long-term growth. If you stay invested, your pension will reward you richly.
That's powerful. So if I'm a contributor listening right now, I'm asking myself, will my pension really grow enough to take care of me in retirement? What's your message of assurance?
My message is simple. Yes, it will. If only you stay the course. Pension growth is not a gamble, what we call in local balance kalu. It is not. It is a discipline, structure, and professionally managed system that is well regulated. So the funds are built to withstand even short-term fluctuation. Over the years, those ups and downs, you will see that the trend is actually an upward trajectory. And because returns compound, so your money just doesn't grow, but it multiplies. So every naira you contribute is actually working very hard for you. So because why? We don't chase reckless return as an organization. We pursue sustainable growth. We continue to carefully balance risk and reward based on those multi-funds structure, ensuring that the hard-earned savings that you have are safe and steadily growing to give you peace of mind for tomorrow. I can assure you that at Trust Fund Pensions, we are guided by one principle, your retirement security, which comes first. So I enjoy you to trust the process, stay consistent, and remember, your retirement is secure, and that is our mission as Trust Fund, in Trust Fund. We can download, for our contributors, you can download the new Trust Fund mobile app on Play Store or on Apple Store today to begin the journey to a secure future. Also, you can visit our website at www.trustfundpensions, that pensions carry.com for more information.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Mr. Afolabi Adesa, Acting Head Investment Trust Fund Pension. Thank you so much for your intervention, sir.
Thank you once again for having me on your program.
Oh, well, today we've learned something powerful. Fund performance is not about one single year, but about the journey. Return on investment varies, but growth is consistent over time. So remember, your pension is your power. Take charge of it, stay informed, and let Trust Fund Pensions work with you on this journey to financial freedom. Join us again next week for another enlightening episode of Your Pension, Your Power. And Lawrence Omoite, enjoy the rest of your day.